Alright, who's trying to set me up on fire? Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Song of the Crimson Nile Season 2 Episode 8. Y'all, I cannot believe that they let us with such a cliffhanger like that. There's always a choice. Episode 8, the truth is smoldering. Oh god, violence and suicide, okay. As the Eva was consumed by fire, all of Eva's hopes shattered with one heavy blow. She watched in stunned silence as the flames crept out of the windows of the building where Eastman's body lay, enveloping the outer walls and spreading to the bushes and grass. The air smelled not only of smoke but also of smoldering flesh. Eva, I'm so sorry. Suddenly she heard some noises and shouting beside her, angry, furious. But Eva didn't pay attention to them. She had no control over herself right at that moment. The Eva is on fire. The body is burning. Eastman will be gone in a moment. No. She rushed in there without thinking, her feet carrying her forward. Eva, stop. But she couldn't hear him. She couldn't hear anything at all, except for the absolute and overpowering ring in her ears. Ignoring it, Eva ran inside and rushed down the corridor. Oh god, this woman. Ooh. A blast of heat struck her in the face. The fire was powerful, scorching the vials, and the flames had spread to the few pieces of furniture and to the body. Eastman's body was still in the exact position Eva had left him, and right at that moment, it was ablaze. No. Eva screamed in despair. If there was no body, no Sa, the sacred remains after mummification, then the person's ka was going to be in danger. The welfare of the soul depended on the preservation of the body. She wasn't going to be able to find Eastman and the tomb where his ka would live. She wasn't going to be able to read spells from the Book of the Dead to help his journey through the Duat. While the ka was the spiritual double of a person, their ba was the vital essence capable of traveling between worlds, which also depended on the preservation of the body. The Eka was the fusion of Ka and Ba, an ethereal spirit that lived in the fields of Aru after burial and the judgment of the dead. Without its Sa, a soul wasn't going to be able to safely travel through the Duat. They would get lost and never find their way to the judgment of the dead. Eva wasn't going to be able to get in touch with Eastman's soul, and he wasn't going to find peace after death and wait for Eva in the fields of Aru. They were never going to meet again. Path of cunning. I have to find a solution. I have to come up with something. Do something. This can't be how it ends. I won't let a soul perish. Eva knew she didn't have time. No time at all. Everything was on fire and she could only calm herself down. She had to act quickly, then and there. Eva looked around hastily. She noticed a plain Anubis mask lying on the table. Right before the burial, the priest would have placed it on the finished mummy, allowing the deceased to embody the god of embalming as they were laid to rest. The flames were quickly inching closer to the mask. Eva was starting to doubt that she could do anything at all. Ismandes Nili's peace depends on you. Anubis, that male voice sometimes calling out to Eva in her dreams, had prophesied that her friend's journey through the Duat would depend on her. Next to the mask were several alabaster jars with Eastman's dried eternal organs. Eee. So sorry. Suddenly Eva had an idea. His organs. I can take them with me and maybe I can use them somehow. A little piece of Eastman will survive. That's something. I'm sorry, maybe I'm stupid if I say it like this, but why doesn't she just grab some water and put out the flames on this man's body, and then she just takes the body? Eva didn't hear Amon's footsteps behind her. She turned around only when his heavy hand grabbed her and pulled her toward him.
Foolish Nefered, you'll die if you stay here.
Amon? Amon pulled her to him to take her outside immediately, but she resisted, which angered him even more. Wait, Eastman, he's going to burn here.
There's nothing you can do. You can't save his body. Get out now.
Where did the fire start? What's going on here? The apostate snapped.
I don't know yet. I just rushed after you. It's a good thing I did. I had a feeling I'd find you here. What kind of foolish selfishness is that?
Sonny, he my brother. He my brother from another mother. I'm not gonna let him suffer here.
If you don't come, I'll throw you over my shoulder. Enough talking.
You took priority over all of Eamon's other duties, and the first thing he did was rush to find you. Aww. Eamon's eyes reflected the flames greedily, devouring everything around them. The orange glow on his pale face made all his emotions look ominous. Eamon was really furious to find Eva in the midst of trouble. She hadn't spared herself and him. Suddenly there was a creak and a snap over her head. The ceiling seemed about to collapse. The art of necromancy. I know for sure that at least some human remains will help to preserve his ba and kind in the future. 1 or 2 organs should be enough for the sa restoration ritual. Even though I have no experience with that sort of thing, someone else does. Take the canopic jar. Take the canopic jar. Against her better judgment, she was determined to take at least one of the alabaster vessels. Eva wriggled out of Eamon's arms and rushed desperately toward the canopic jars.
Eva!
Eamon thought that she was running to the body, but froze when he saw her pick up one of the containers. It was the only thing she could carry out of there. All the objects had gotten very hot, and Eva gritted her teeth, fighting the burning pain. Without a word, Eamon took the canopic jar from her hands, wrapping it in his cape, then grabbed Eva by her arm and silently led her out of the Ibu. You took Eastman's organs. This will affect the plot, okay? The fire was consuming everything in sight with increased fury, and almost nothing remained of Eastman's body. Okay, who the fuck set my man on fire? I'm gonna kill him. As soon as Eva stepped outside, she gasped, eagerly breathing in the fresh air, but suddenly broke down in a coughing fit. Orion rushed to her and immediately stood at her feet. That's strange. We haven't seen this man last episode. Oh, he pissed. The dog wasn't growling at her, but somewhere in the distance protecting Eva. Livia saw that Eva had got out alive and sank down to his knees in relief. Their relationship is so beautiful. To his surprise, Eva had been dragged out by the Supreme Apostates. He hadn't bothered to look for the source of the fire or prepare for a fight, despite the fact that it was the reason he was there. Without hesitation, he had followed her into the flames. Livius. Let me tell you about a few things. Yeah, he satisfied our desires. Like, we good now.
Are you alright? You're reckless enough for it.
No. Damn. She looks rough. Rougher than yesterday. I'm fine. The apostates gently caressed her back as if trying to show sympathy, but his attentive and cold gaze was already scanning their surroundings, knowing that the fire hadn't started by itself. Oh, really? You don't say. It was arson. Agnia had probably already found the one responsible. Livius looked at Eamon in surprise, noting a new, unexpected side of him, selflessness. Despite the tension between them, Livius felt a new respect for Eamon. He was immensely grateful to the apostates. Probably that wasn't just a temporary infatuation, and there was something good about their painful relationship. After all, the apostates had saved his friend. Aww. I love this. Like, both of them fought because of us, and they will get into each other's good graces because of us. I just love to unite people at this point. Yes. Risking his life. Livia saw how gently he was touching Eva, trying to soothe her after the new shock, although he was supposed to be somewhere else, looking for the arsonist. Livius was well aware that Eamon was not the monster people made him out to be, and saw yet another proof of that. Walking over to her, Livius glanced up at the apostates and asked, Livius is grateful to Eamon for saving you. They have something in common. You! Bye! Let's go!
Everything is on fire. Are we under attack? Agnia was keeping watch. Whoever the culprit is, the person is most likely already in her hands.
He better be.
Stay with Eva. I'll find them. She could still be his target.
Is Remmao?
Yes, he's coming for her.
Yeah. Eamon shielded Eva and Livius and waited for Agnia to appear. He shielded both of them. I fucking love this. I love this. They found common ground because of us. I am in love. Eva was still clutching the canopic jar to her chest. Remembering how willingly the flame consumed Eastman's body, she squeezed the vessel even harder. It was all that was left of her friend. That's so traumatic, like even more. She has been grieving over her friend the entire time, and the only thing that actually kept her on her toes was knowing that she could reach this man's car and actually talk to him and find out what happened to him. AKA, everything she wanted to do was finally get the closure she needed in order to move on. She didn't get it because her feelings got involved, and then she was followed by traumatic visions, and it didn't work out, and then suddenly his body was on fire. Now, the only thing that she can do is now do some sort of spell in order to be capable, or more like to assure that our poor man, Eastman, will be capable to find some peace. We can't reach this man's car anymore. Like, that's it. I feel bad.
What have you got there?
His eyebrows raised as he took a closer look.
A cannabis jar.
What if it comes in handy? I will find a way, or find a necromancer who knows what to do if the rest of the body's gone. I don't believe that he has no chance of reaching the judgment without his Livius and Eva froze when they saw silhouettes appearing in the doorway. Oh no. The first one, bigger and taller, jerked as if trying to attack. The second, a smaller one, deftly jumped back, pulled something from their belt, and began defending themselves. Oh, Agnia the queen.
Your attempts to avoid the unavailable are pathetic. You'd be a fool to think otherwise.
A hiss sounded out in response.
Get back or I'll kill you.
Huh? Remmao! Let's go! Can we beat his motherfucking ass? Can we beat this motherfucking ass? Yola actually said it with great displeasure in the last episode. If Remmao would be that petty to destroy this because he thinks the fact that we were that obsessed about getting close to Eastman's body, and that's why he thought that we were all gonna be caught, and that's also why he wanted to kill us, that he would be that desperate and that petty to actually come here just to burn this body in order to destroy every single chance we have in order to get in touch with Eastman's car. This bitch. Me, without a moment's thought, Eamon rushed to Agnia's aid. Agnia is a queen. She said, I need no man. She said, I'm capable to bitch at him myself. Eva saw Eamon grab her mentor, pin him to the ground, and squeeze his neck with both hands. Oh, yes.
Stop, you're going to kill him.
Oh, he wants to kill him, all right. And not just because of one thing, because he was like the apprentice that helped kill his parents, but also because he knows what he did to us.
I won't kill him. I will only hurt him a little for everything he did.
This has two meanings. Remmao, I love it.
That's enough. His eyes rolled back. Come on.
Oh no, he deserves this. He deserves more. Bitch at him. Smack him. Me too, Orion. Me too. Orion stood on full alert. To be quite honest, I'm living for this entire moment. Bitch at him. Come on, smack him. When the light from the fire illuminated Remmao's face, Eva was horrified at the sight of what had become of her mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, be honest, am I a bitch if I say that this is karma? Am I a bad person for saying this is karma? That's what you get, you know, good son of a bitch. You were willing to kill even your younger brother. Bitch, this is justice served on a silver platter. I am living, covered with scratches and bruises. He looked as if he had just stepped out of a torture chamber. Let's hope he did. Whether Remmao had been hiding all that time, he was in rough shape. I could care less. A deep wound stretched along his face, a mark left by Eva on the night of his escape. Haha. You better remember that. That's why I actually bought that fucking knife. There were soot marks on his clothes. Swearing, tears, dozens of accusations of what he had done were bursting to come out of Eva's lips. He had attacked her. Costia's execution was associated with the man probably involved in the curse of Thebes, and right at that moment, he had even deprived Eva of a chance to meet Isman again. Control yourself. To be quite honest, that would be the logical thing. But I don't know how it's with you guys, but in my eyes, it depends on the situation. I can do both. I'm very strategic, as in logical, but I also, depending on the circumstance, depending on the topic that's being tackled, I'm impulsive and I allow my feelings to take the upper hand of my reasoning. So it depends on the situation. In this particular circumstance, I would have just completely would I have killed him if I would be there? No, I wouldn't, but I would have smacked him either way. No matter. If it's verbally or physically, I would have smacked him a few times. Wait to see Eamon and Agnia's next move, lose your temper and blame him for exactly. But you see, when you yell at someone, first off because you care and because their betrayal truly hurt you, and on the other side, because you expect them to kind of explain themselves, And in my eyes, Remmao is too far gone to actually give any sort of explanation. He thinks that he was right to do what he did. He is delusional. He is done. So if we accuse him, that's why we expect him to actually defend himself and to explain why he did what he did. But we know why he did it, because in his eyes, we're the reason that the entire hunter squad decided to be more cautious and to completely evaporate every single Sheshmu. He blames us because we were that insistent on finding Isman and to get in touch with him and his car. So we know why he did it. So you know what? Wait and see Eamon and Agnia's next move. Rage was boiling inside her, demanding an outlet, but Eva was more clever than that and kept everything bottled up inside. We're not gonna give him that satisfaction. He knew that he broke us, and if I'm not mistaken, he knew about our past, because, he had been our mentor for a huge-ass amount of time. So he knew what happened to us, and he still dared to go that far to actually grab us without our permission, to actually intimidate us to that extent, like the man back in the day that wanted to sexually harass us. Fuck no. I'm not gonna give you that satisfaction. You are not breaking me today. First you wanted to see what Agnia and Eamon were going to do. Would they interrogate him or resort to torture? Anything is fine by me. Cunning! In any case, she'd better not get involved. Nope. You don't see me slipping. Eamon pushed Remmao to the ground and Agnia walked around to the other side. The Episates believed that the Sheshmu posed no danger. Remmao wasn't going to be able to unexpectedly attack him or Agnia, and Eva and the healer were standing a little further away. The mentor recoiled, his back almost hitting the canopy. All escape routes were cut off and he had no advantages in a fight. Well, that's what makes him stupid, because he knew that there were more than just one person here. But he still thought that he needed to risk it in order to get the opportunity to kill us. This is your own fault, and no way out either. Nope. Haha.
Well, here we are again.
Get the whip out, Eamon. You weren't expecting us? Remmao was silent, unwilling to say a word. No, this bitch actually was that stupid, thinking that we were gonna expose him. This bitch is stupid. He crouched down like a cornered predator, his gaze wild and fierce as he looked between the Episates and the mercenary. Got something to say for yourself, son? Got something to say? But there was an eerie gleam in his eyes as they rested on Eva. Come at me, you no-good son of a bitch. His lips twisted in hatred. See, he blames us.
Cursed girl. Cursed girl.
Excuse you.
Have you been searching for her?
Eamon nodded toward Eva. The mentor finally answered.
I don't need her.
His gaze shifted from her to burning Ibu. Now, I am 1000% sure that I gave him a different voice, but in my eyes, he looks rough And in my eyes, he has also been completely consumed by rage and hatred to the point where he's actually just insanely bitter. So it just makes sense to actually give him like this low growl. His gaze shifted from her to the burning Ibu. What you want? Path of high renown, period. Like I'm a queen here.
Does she have something you need? Or does she know too much?
I know too much.
Why have you been tracking her down? Answer me. Haven't been tracking her down.
Aemon bit his lips, staring at the dark magician. The apostates was silent, yet his grip tightened on the dagger spoke volumes. That though, he's not he's not calm about this. He's like, you either talk or I will make you. You have two options here. You're outnumbered. He was losing patience. Me too, son. He hadn't immediately resorted to torture, but mentally he was inching closer to his preferred method of gathering information, especially after he knows what this bitch did. There are two reasons why he would want Remmao dead on the spot, y'all. First, his parents. Second, us.
Are we supposed to believe that you just missed your favorite apprentice?
That!
Were your hands acting on their own accord when they reached to cut off her tongue?
That. Because that was like the method in order to shut Cheshmu up. And not only the tongue, but also the hands. He did that to one of his closest friends, y'all. He would have done worse to us.
You shouldn't think about yourself, Cheshmu. You've probably heard how I prefer to treat those like you. It's either going to hurt or it's going to hurt a lot.
The apostate said through gritted teeth. Nah, Aemon is a menace. I love him.
You won't sing your last song, but howl it. Period. The whole of Tebas will remember your screams for a long time.
Y'all, I'm kind of terrified of Aemon because of this, but also turned on by him. I don't know which one is more powerful.
You should make it easier for yourself and talk.
You see why I think that this is a turn on? Because of the fact that he's doing whatever it takes to show us that he's willing to protect us with all he got. Aemon knows who I am. He promised to lessen my punishment if I cooperate. I hope he keeps his word. He's not willing to do shit to you, girl. Didn't the way he pleased you last episode show you that he's not planning to do anything? But Eastman's body is gone, so what's going to happen now? Do I run away again? Or beg him not to punish me, to help me first? If he wanted to hurt you, he would have done something. He didn't touch you nor Olivia's. He said there wasn't enough evidence against me and I was in no danger. Now after my escape and being exposed as a dark magician, things will be different. But Aemon promised to show mercy if I help him. I hope it will be alright. Her thoughts returned to the sunlit shore where Eva and Aemon had promised each other to be together. I'm yours and you're mine. That's what he said. He won't hurt me, I'm sure of it. Now there are almost no secrets left between us. I promise to always be by his side, with no more deceptions. I have to trust Aemon. He went to great lengths for this. I haven't forgotten all his threats in the past, but I also have my faults. Everything that was done said before doesn't matter anymore. Him and me, that's the most important thing. It was too early to think about the future. First, she needed to solve the problem with Eastman and find out what Remmao had been planning to do. Then perhaps she could worry about her life. If Seth suddenly decided to come for her to take her away or protect her, as spontaneously and unexpectedly as it happened in the Ibu with Ramesses, what would she do then? What would happen if he and Aemon ran into each other? There will be bloodshed, and praise be to Ra if it's not my blood. But even then it wouldn't make it easier. I don't wish any harm to any of them. I hope nothing bad happens.
I know I'm not living here alive, and pain doesn't scare me. I'm well acquainted with it. I've already told you I don't need her.
Yet you somehow are desperate to have me killed. Path of cunning. Eva followed Remmao's gaze, observing the way he behaved. She was trying to look for any signs of deception, since lying was a skill she also possessed. She couldn't see anything suggesting that Remmao was not telling the truth, but he was much more skilled than Eva, of course. She was no match for him. If Remmao wasn't looking for Eva, then what was he trying to achieve? To cut off or bond with Eastman. She decided to share her conclusions, drawing attention to herself. It's Eastman he needs, not me. Maybe I knew too much. Someone ordered him to kill me. It would be interesting if someone ordered him to kill us, but I don't think that's it. I think we knew too much, yes, but I have the feeling he needs Eastman, or more like not he needs Eastman, but his boss needs Eastman. It's Eastman he needs, not me. I'm sure he died by your hand, Mentor. That's why you were so annoyed when I mentioned that his death was not an accident. Eva caught his gaze looking into his amber eyes with contempt. Either you wanted something from him or he got in your way. That's why you murdered him, if not with your own hands by using someone else's. But why did you burn his body? Do you want to be done with him for good and deprive him of peace even in the afterlife? Remmao raised his eyebrows.
It is so amusing to listen to your conclusions, Evitus.
Remmao remained composed. His imminent demise left him indifferent. Still, he was in no rush to reveal the truth. Eamon towered over him, standing a short distance away in case Remmao suddenly decided to lunge at him, trying to injure the epistates. They all kept a few feet away, and Remmao relaxed even more, casually wiping the blood from his face. The Supreme Epistates pointed the dagger at him and said in cold, thundering voice,
You didn't want to kill Eva, but only prevent her from getting in touch with the soul. It was more important since you came back to get rid of the body. That young man got killed because he knew something. Whoever gives you orders wants to keep everything a secret. I'm only going to ask this once. If you don't answer, I'll grab you by the throat and drag you through the outskirts all the way to the settlement.
That would be a funny side.
I'll throw you into the torture chamber and squeeze out of all the... I'll throw you into the torture chamber and squeeze out all the information I need. Do you hear me?
The grin. Yeah. Is the seriousness of the situation sinking in slowly, my man? Livius. That sounds like fun. To be quite honest, I would be living. I would wish him this. Because this man did not give a damn about all the people that he massacred and had murdered and burned at the stake. Of course, in my eyes, everyone deserves a second chance, but only when you show that you are willing to show a different side to you. Doesn't mean that you have to change, because no one should change. But if you want to show a different side to you, aka you want to show that you can improve as a person and grow as a person, then in my eyes, you deserve the chance to prove that to everyone around you, or to the people that you truly care about. If you don't show that you are willing to show a different side to you, then there is no hope for you.
Who's your master? What's his name? Where is he? And what did Eastman from Hermopolis know?
Eamon knows that Remmao is working with the same person he worked with in the past, Hempstead. That man killed his family and hid in the Pharaoh's inner circles. Simon Hempstead. Will Remmao say his name? But the mentor didn't say a word. Eamon nodded, almost pleased, as if he had been looking forward to that. Yeah, he wants to torture him. Finally had a chance to torture a person who was involved in the death of his family. His parents had protected their son at the cost of their lives.
You decided to keep quiet. Fine. We will continue our conversation differently. I'll take you to the settlement and show you why all Sheshmu hate me so much.
I'm living.
I don't know anything. There is no point in torturing me. Kill me right away.
Oh, he's not gonna escape. He's not gonna leave the chance he has to torture you, sonny boy. He's not. He will use this opportunity. The epistates narrowed his eyes and hissed through gritted teeth.
I will kill you. Not right away. I know who you are and what you were doing in Hermopolis. And who sent you there? What do you know, Hunter? I'm just a humble mentor.
You are anything but humble.
I was doing what I was best at. Kill me if I'm guilty, but I have nothing to tell you.
To everyone's surprise, Livius interjected.
What were you doing in my dreams?
Ooh! Livius told me that Remmao had entered his dreams. Period, sit your ass down where your sorry ass belongs. You didn't know that he knew, huh? Yeah, because normally you don't know. The fact that Eamon knew that we were a Sheshmu was first because we ran and second because of our letter. We told him in the letter what was going on and that we were a Sheshmu, if I remember correctly. Or maybe he was capable to figure it out. But normally, when Sheshmu enter people's minds, or more like their dreams, the people don't know. They don't remember. They can't recall that. But Livius can. He's kind of immune to the tricks that Sheshmu have. It's not like he can actually shove Sheshmu out of his dream, but he remembers that someone was there. Nah.
Yes, I remember you. You were standing there, but you weren't doing anything. Was that a commission?
Ooh. Yeah.
You remember? I knew it. I know it. What exactly? Don't you know? Oh, that's right. Livius of Bella. Forget about it.
Oh, fuck no! Livius, smack him.
You managed to bring the healer into this too. I know more than you think. Remmao of Heraklion. I've been tracking you for years to get to the elder you serve. You were following him around as a brat, but you were sent from Lower Egypt to Hermopolis to teach as punishment. Yet you remained loyal to your former mentor. But is it loyalty or fear?
In my eyes, it's fear. I'm scared to meet him, said y'all.
We'll find out in the torture chamber.
I love it.
Maybe your little brother can tell me.
Hell no! Hands off him!
He's somewhere nearby, right? He couldn't stay away from you. All the better for us.
Hell no! That, is Ramesses somewhere close? The important thing is that he's alive. If one of the hunters had killed him, Eamon would certainly know about it. Strange! Now you shook, Nock. Get this little bitch out of my face. He was gonna kill his brother himself.
You don't have a choice. Either answers and death, or answers and painful death. Your brother's life depends on you. There's always a choice. And I'm making mine now.
Remmao suddenly reached inside his clothes. Oh, he wants to kill himself so that he doesn't have to answer, right? Eamon and Agni instantly reacted, ready to fight back. Orion sprang to his paws and growled. Remmao pulled out the dagger and... Yeah. What did I say? Am I surprised? No. Put it to his throat. Is he going to kill himself? That's what proud bitches do. He's like, you are not getting anything out of me. You're gonna torture me, everything. I knew what was happening the second that you caught me. I knew I was gonna die, but you sure as hell are not getting anything out of me. Yeah, Livius. Agnia froze. Yeah.
You miserable coward. Don't do that. Everything will be taken into account during the judgment of the dead. Make a move and I'll slit my throat right here. You won't.
He crazy, son. He will. Eva saw the apostate's muscle tense. He was ready to pounce any second as soon as Remmao let his guard down. Agnia was ready to do the same, breathing slowly and keeping her eyes on Remmao.
Oh well, why would I want a public execution and agonizing hours of torture if I can end this right here? Right now.
You must live to save Ramesses, correct your mistakes. I don't think he gives a damn about Ramesses if he's willing to kill himself. Eamon did just say your brother's life is on the line too, and he actually took out the knife. He don't care about his brother. Save Ramesses, even though I don't believe for shit that he would give a damn, considering the fact that he wanted to murder him too. Although pity and humanity had long left him, Remmao still had one attachment that made him vulnerable. Lies! This is making me so upset. I shouldn't have picked this one, because they're like trying to make it seem like he actually didn't intend to sacrifice his brother in order to survive. His younger brother he cared about was the only important person in the world to Remmao of Heraklion. Bye! That's a lie! Eva didn't understand what had scared the mentor more, the fact that the Episates knew everything and had been tracking him for a long time, or the threat to Ramesses' life. But to her it was simply an opportunity.
They don't need me.
Nothing was reflected in Remmao's amber eyes, no fear, no pity, no anger. He skillfully hid everything that could betray his inner turmoil. Path of cunning. Manipulator. Ooh. I don't want to be a manipulator, though. But you know what? I have to add something in here as well. Like, manipulator is such a bad word. But if you are skilled with your words and you use reasoning in order to, and you use knowledge, information in order to reason with the person in front of you, that's not a bad thing. But manipulator is that you try to manipulate the person in front of you with your way of words to the point where they're willing to do whatever it takes to please you. You know, you kind of manipulate them to your own will. And I don't like this because I'm not like this. I don't want to be known as this. I'm good with words, dots. Eva decided to play on his emotions like the strings of an instrument unknown to her. To be quite honest, she has every reason to go at his bitch. Plucking them one by one until she found what she needed. Why do you want to take your own life? To avoid torture. Then you will only succeed in replacing one Cheshmi with another. They're still going to torture someone, just not you. I mean, hello. Like, are you stupid? Are you not actually seeing the stones that are being turned in front of your eyes? The revelation apparently wasn't enough for this man to actually realize how serious the situation is and that they're actually willing to hurt Ramesses in order to get information. A sudden realization flashed in his dark gaze. Really? He finally got it? If Remmao died there, the hunters would go after Ramesses instead. Eva had found the right words. None of this is his fault. He probably doesn't even know who is your master and what they order you to do. But he'll have to pay with his blood for your own cowardice and your mistakes.
He's not here, and he really doesn't know anything.
Sonny boy, you do realize, like, it takes one to know one. He's a manipulative little bitch, and so are the people that are hunting him. When you have a petty bitch in front of you, they don't care if you have something to do with it or not. They will torture you just at the slight chance that you will give something away of yours. They won't care that you said the truth. They will say, okay, he sacrificed himself, he killed himself because he was too cowardly to actually be upfront about what he should be doing and who his master is, so we're going for the brother instead. If he knows something or not, they don't give a damn. They will torture him. They will torture the fuck out of him. They did it with Dia as well. Like, she was just a Sheshmu being capable to practice her craft. And they tortured her. They ripped the nails off. They actually didn't give her anything to drink nor nothing. They sliced her open. And they executed her in the most painful way. It wasn't public execution, Sonny boy. They won't give a fuck. It's a pity that your words are like sand to the hunters. That, though, they're worth nothing. Your ability to manipulate people has increased. I don't like to be known as a manipulator. You know what? I'm just gonna ignore the fact that we're being called a manipulator. I call this being skilled with words. I like to use intelligence, like information, reasoning, in order to reason with you. Remmao pursed his lips thinking. The dagger was still pressed against his neck, and any unnecessary movement was likely to prompt him into plunging the blade deeper. Therefore, neither Eamon nor Agnia were moving, but they just watched him closely. I'm not lying. If Remmao kills himself, Eamon will find Ramesses thinking that he knows something. Yeah, that Because we're surrounded by pratty bitches, okay? First, Aemon will torture him, and regardless of the outcome, Ram will sing his Sheshmu's last song in the main square of Thebes. To be quite honest, y'all, if any of you know, please let me know, because I've been literally reading this. We all have come together this far together, okay? We all have come this far. I didn't skip anything nor nothing. I still don't understand what they mean when they say a Sheshmu will sing their last song. I mean, that it means that they will die, of course, I understand. But I don't understand the metaphor they're using here. Because I know it's a metaphor, I'm not stupid. But what does that metaphor mean? Does that have anything to do with, like, Greek mythology? Like, the term where Sheshmu comes from? Does any of you know? Please let me know. Isfed, I can't let that happen. You're worried about your friend. You both treasure your friendship. Of course I'm worried about my fucking friend. Like, when is Ramesses even coming back? Like, can we get his ass back here? Because I want to see him. Remmao blinked nervously and whispered quietly with absolute sincerity. Y'all, I'm actually sad. Like, imagine being on Ramesses' route. And being pushed to pursue someone else because the love of your life is, like, gone.
He doesn't know. He really doesn't know anything.
Well, then you better sing something because he won't give a fuck.
I kept everything to myself to protect him from the consequences.
You see, sonny boy. First off, I don't believe a shit that's going on right now. Like, they're kind of trying to find a way to redeem Remmao for all the shit he's done. No, he's done with me. He's done with me. Because I know he lying. Because we saw the way that he behaved. Or are you trying to tell me that he's just an obsessive? Like, that he's that stupid that when he has the pearl in his hand, he can treasure it, and the second he lost it and knows that the pearl is in danger, he immediately becomes the overprotective brother. He never showed that he truly cares about his little brother. Now you're trying to tell me that he's worried that something might happen to him? You should have thought about that before you actually left him to fend for himself, and you ran off after you tried to kill me. Sonny boy, don't be pulling this bullshit on me. First off. Second off, even if he did this in order to, like, prevent him from consequences with bratty bitches, or in general, we've seen it in TV shows, ladies and gentlemen, people will find the people that are close to you or people you care about in order to get to you. Because that's, like, something that I learned, and I'm giving it out to all of you. Please be cautious, my bitches, okay? Like, I'm worried about every single one of you. When someone wants to hurt you, they will stop at nothing. You can't expect your enemy to play by the rules. We don't actually need to actually use that term on someone that you have beef with, okay? But to a specific degree, they are your enemy because they have something against you. You have beef with them. So they're on the opposite side of you. They will stop at nothing in order to get to you. You can't expect your enemy to play by the rules. And in order to get to you, they're willing to hurt innocent people. Because, especially when it comes to, like, hunters, like, they won't give a damn about the innocent lives that they will risk in order to, like, protect the greater good, you know? In their eyes, it's like a few deaths, aka collateral damage, in order to protect a billion. They won't care that your brother knows nothing.
There's no need to look for him. Ram has nothing to tell you. He wasn't involved in any of this.
The way he's raising his eyebrows, same. Remmao feels guilty. This will affect his fate. Don't tell me that we actually saved his life. No. He has to die because of all the bullshit he did. Because no way in hell does this man actually get away with being completely out of his goddamn mind. Even though to a specific degree, because I am always claiming on people's humanity and I'm analyzing their inner turmoil and what they're psychologically or more like mentally are going through. I should be on his side, but in my eyes, there should be a limit to everything. I do feel bad for him because I don't want anyone to suffer, okay? So that's like my pure heart coming through. I feel bad that he's sad. I feel bad that if he truly loves his brother and all the hatred and frustration was that powerful that it overpowered his love for his brother, which also inclines that he has been through an awful shit in the course of his life. I feel bad that he fears for the life of his brother and that he may not even be alive if they should massacre him, and he won't have the certainty that Ramesses will remain untouched and unharmed. I feel bad about this because this is like a worry I can understand and it shows humanity. But on the other side, no matter how much shit you've been through in your past, it does not give you the right to hurt someone else. I keep on saying this every single time. I can't forgive Remmao for what he did. Like, he needs to pay for what he did. He actually allowed Dia to be executed, and he wanted to kill us himself. Ramesses would have been on his list too. Don't lie to me. Because he has been fighting with Ramesses before he attacked us. Like, we saw the fact that Ramesses and Remmao were on different point of views because a certain thing, like, they were fighting. He would have went for Ramesses as well. Maybe actually being alone, being beaten down, being literally starved, and everything made him reach his lowest point that made him think a little, but it does not change what he did. The fire had worked its way through the Ibu, and the flames no longer crackled. All that was left was charred ruins and stones smoldering in the darkness of the night, besides the fact that he actually didn't allow us to say goodbye to our friend. Hell no. But a distant noise somewhere in the open desert caught Eva's attention. Shu, the god of wind, stirred up the sand, which billowed in the air like a heavy veil caught in a chaotic dance. Oh my god, is this a blizzard? Eva felt uneasy, but she didn't think much of it. She was much more worried about Remmao's gaze, full of dangerous determination. Determination to die, to act, to attack?
This is not just about Ramesses. I've heard about how talented you are at torturing people, Ante. And I know that there will be nothing left of me by morning.
Oh!
But there are worse things than torture. He's the worst.
He is actually petrified of Hemsed, y'all. I am so... y'all, maybe I'm just crazy at this point. I mean, all of you love me already, so that's fine by me. I'm excited to meet him. But on the other side, I'm petrified. Because if a little bitch like him is actually scared of him, oh god. The Sheshmu looked at Eva as if he was talking directly to her. Does Hemsed want us? Well, then he looked at the Ibu behind her back. Maybe, this is just a thought of mine. Could it be possible? We saw, like, the past of Aemon in his dream. And we saw Remmao and Hemsed, as in, he was teaching Remmao back in the day. Could it be possible that Hemsed is that fucking powerful that he actually felt us even in like this memory? That would be creepy, but that would be so interesting.
I'd rather die. The truth you're looking for is smoldering, but anything's better than him.
Someone Hemsed. Yeah, and then it all happened so quickly. He killed himself. Oh my god! What is going on? Oh, that's Aemon. Olivia's and us. Agnia. Oh my god. No, bye. What is going on, y'all? Oh, that's Remmao. He looks good in this vision. Fucking hell, I hate it. They wanna get your grip together. Hell no. Oh my god, what is this? Son, are you gonna kill yourself or not? Oh god. He is. And our other man is here, for fuck's sake, y'all. God damn it. Not the water being there, the fire is still expanding, and he actually cutting his throat and then falling down into the water, just like Eastman died back in the day. And or other man said, literally being in the back, looking at him furiously, I am weak. The sandstorm swept through the Theban outskirts like a violent whirlwind, forcing people to squint and hide their faces behind their clothes. What the hell just happened, y'all? But that was a nice animation. Oh no! What happened? He had promised that everything would be fine. He had promised that no one would die. He had promised, but his older brother was dead. Ramesses showed up! I was conflicted. I didn't know if I should believe my eyes or not because it happened so fast, y'all. Ramesses actually was alive. He was the one that came in for the kill. Okay. No one noticed the young necromancer's presence. All eyes were on the massive male figure that had appeared out of nowhere. Set! They see him? Set emerged from the eye of the storm as if he was its very essence. He towered over the bloodied body of the Sheshmi who had just killed himself. The wind calmed down a bit so that Set could hear the mortals speaking and so that they could open their eyes and see him. You know what's actually so sad about this? Didn't Set say that every single Sheshmu has like part of him, like his powers? And the less Sheshmu there are, the less power he has?
Well, my little Sheshmu needs help again.
Happens, you find out about the mistress. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, silly, you were so close to the body, yet you failed again.
Aemon stared at the red-haired god in astonishment. Suddenly he remembered everything that night in the Ibo, how he had found Eva and Ramesses next to him, and how he had helped them escape. How could the episodes forget something like that? Because Seth wanted you to forget. Replaying all the details of that encounter over and over in his head, he remembered everything but that man. Was it dark magic or a special amulet? As soon as Aemon saw him, everything fell into place, and he thought back to that meeting again. Uh-oh. Yeah, you remember? A stranger in a cave with scarlet eyes glowing in the dark. Y'all. God damn it.
You.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you remember?
Oh no. Oh yes. It's the final countdown. Sorry. Aemon's shocked gaze slowly shifted to Eva. He realized everything. She wasn't a poor, harmless orphan who had begun practicing dark magic out of desperation. All that time she had been following a patron, someone who guided her, helped her, commanded her, whose will she fulfill. Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. And she had never mentioned this to him. I mean, can we? Are we allowed to? Technically, our life does belong to Sid. Are we allowed to say to someone that our life belongs to him? I don't even think that Livius knows. Yet another obstacle that was going to destroy the trust between them. At the shore, they had promised each other that there would be no more secrets between them. The circumstances were against them, but their bond was meant to be stronger than that. But right at that moment, Aemon didn't know what to think and feel. I mean, technically, we didn't really have time to talk to him after we promised that there wouldn't be any more lies. We fell asleep, there was fire. Then we ran into the house in order to get Eastman's body or something of his remains. And then Remmao showed up. Then he killed himself, and Ramesses showed up as well. Like, it's not like we actually spent like a billion years after we promised that we wouldn't lie to each other again. Another secret that Eva had chosen to keep quiet about. It was not for nothing that he had been trying to push all his thoughts of her away from him, trying to destroy his growing affection. What could the Supreme Epistates and the Sheshmu have in common? I mean, technically, I do understand what the story is trying to show, as in you need to have faith and trust in your partner, and that means honesty, complete honesty. But there will be some secrets I keep to myself, and I'll only talk about them with like my best friends or like my parents, just to put an example out there. I don't need to tell him every little detail of my life. Or is that just me? Sheshmu cannot be trusted. Eamon wasn't looking at her anymore. Seth had captured all his attention. Even Agnia sensed Seth's immortal presence, frowned and took a cautious step back. Huh. Even she said, "Oh God, I feel it."
Who are you? I can see the heat coming from you, but that is not ordinary heat. It's different.
The All-Seer. Seth lazily crossed his arms and asked,
Didn't him tell you? Didn't him tell you about me?
Eamon replied coldly and briefly. The fact that he says "eam," oh God.
No.
Oh God. That only amused Seth. Haha.
I can see why she's in a V. I can see why she's in a very difficult position.
Yeah. The Epistate's fingers squeezed tightly around the hilt of his dagger. He is not amused. Eamon was in no hurry to rush into a fight, wanting to learn more about his opponent first, but he was clearly on edge.
Who are you? Tell me your name. My name? Will you tell me yours first?
Ooh! To be quite honest, this is like a showdown. Oh God. Y'all. Am I a Seth and Eamon shipper? Maybe partially, but on the other side, sandwich me both, thank you. Seth moved slowly to the side, carefully, step by step. Bye, y'all. There's something about Seth that turns me on so much. Maybe it's his witty attitude, and I just love to provoke and tease and flirt with the person I like. But I am so into this right now. Seth moved slowly to the side, carefully, step by step. Eamon didn't take his eyes off him, not letting him play that game.
Of power over everyone you hate so fiercely, Hunter, and I'm the forefather of those you loved desperately in the past. And love now.
Seth looked at Eva. He was talking about the dark magicians and referring to Eamon's parents. Yeah. Eamon narrowed his eyes, feeling a surge of energy before the fight. There was a hint of madness in his eyes. He was ready, almost eager to attack. Seth could easily recognize the rage among all of Eamon's emotions and said under his breath,
Come on, come at me.
Ooh. He provoking the shit out of him, and the sad thing about this is that Eamon is actually falling for it. Are they going to fight? Eamon will die. Who can be equal in strength to Seth himself? He doesn't know who he's about to fight against. This needs to stop. My fate depends on the outcome. I better not get involved. No, this needs to stop. Stop behaving like little bitches. I have enough of those. Why fight if they have no reason for it? Seth came for me, so what's the point of this? And fighting him means certain death, right? Ooh! Nice new motion! It was clear from the Epistate's expression that fight could not be avoided. Eva was afraid. What if Eamon dies? I'll die with him. How can I survive his death at the hand of my patron? I won't let this happen. How do I stop them without getting killed myself? First, Eastman's body was destroyed by the fire, then Remmao killed himself and was still laying there in a pool of blood, and then that happened. Eva was desperate. Despite his imposing size, Eamon was very fast and agile. He adjusted his grip on his weapon, jumped up towards Seth, and swung with one hand to feint with the other. Seth dodged easily, taking out a thin staff from under his cape. Ooh-hoo!
This is getting fun.
Can we just smack both of them? Can we? Can we be the one with the pants? He jumped too high for a mere mortal, landing on top of the ruins of one of the buildings. Jumping from one building to the other, Seth noticing Eamon pursuing him and decided not to wait for him jumping back down first. But the Epistates anticipated his actions, pushed away from the wall, and intercepted the god. Grappling, they toppled to the ground with a crash. It seemed to Eva that the earth itself trembled.
Great Zeus, what are they doing? Have fun.
To be quite honest, from one side, I'm completely on Agnia's side, and on the other, I'm on Livia's side. Like, what the hell are they doing? Agnia wasn't so tense anymore. If Seth was truly dangerous or angry, he would have attacked him right away. But his words and actions pointed to the contrary. He wanted nothing from her, and he clearly wasn't mourning Remmao's death, so there was nothing to fear. She went up to Livia's and even, what's the battle with that? Y'all bye, who's getting the popcorn?
Who is that? Kitty, is it your friend?
Yes.
Kind of.
Eva didn't hear them, lost in thought. Why is Seth playing with him? Why doesn't he wound or kill him? Has he already become weak because of people? Or is he exhausted after being in our world for too long? As if to prove her thoughts, Seth failed to fend off the attack. His head jerked as Eamon punched him first and then hit him with his elbow. Seth kicked the hunter hard enough to send him flying through the air, his back slamming into one of the buildings. Ooh, there was a thud and a crack. When Eamon overcame the pain and tried to get up, the wall crumbled. The Epistates quickly pulled himself together, seeing that the enemy was already rushing toward him. One blow, another, a third, a fourth. Eamon managed to dodge them all, and when Seth tried to hit Eamon's leg with his staff, the hunter jumped up and kicked him in the chest. Seth staggered, but instead of falling on his back, he thrust his hand out and did a graceful backflip.
Is that you got? No wonder they praise you.
He's really playing with Eamon? Going easy on him? Then why is he so sweaty? Eamon kept moving toward him, fueled by an endless rage, and Seth seemed fueled by it too, because he didn't get tired of dodging over and over again. As soon as the opportunity presented itself, he hit the hunter in the temple with his elbow. When Eamon jerked away, Seth tripled with his staff so that the Epistates would lose his balance. Their struggle was accompanied by blows, destruction, and pain. The dilapidated buildings collapsed even more under their massive bodies. Oh my god, look at what... Boys, y'all, they are ridiculous. Both were breathing heavily, but they didn't want to stop. Can we, just, I don't know, use some sort of magic trick? Just get them away from each other?
I'll stop this.
Livius, you're staying where you are. I'm not losing you too.
Do you think you should? Let them figure this out the way they're used to.
Don't be too sure of yourself. Try, you can do it. Don't be too sure of yourself. Can't you see it's better not to get in the way? You'll get hurt too.
This is going to go on forever. They'd better go their separate ways peacefully.
Now tell me where Ramesses is. He was here too. Who are you to make them listen to you?
Have great people skills.
Livius is such a cutie! Livius is hurt by your words. What kind of bullshit is this? Eva noticed how heavily Seth was breathing. I mean, from one side, I do understand why she would be saying something like this. And I think I would say something like this too, to a specific degree. Like, if I'm worried, I'm completely consumed by worry. And I could say something that I don't mean, or something that just comes out wrong. And I would need to explain my rash words before they actually plant themselves, or more like engrave themselves in the person's minds. Livius raised his hands to attract attention. Class dismissed!
Wait, why are you fighting? It's almost dawn and you're both tired. Wouldn't it be better to talk before resorting to violence? Let's find out why each of us is here. What if you have nothing that divides you, and no reason to compete with each other?
What if all this bloodshed is for nothing? Bitches will be bitches, and you can't stop them from fighting. Aemon stared at Set, not wanting to miss another lunge. The god let himself get distracted. Hell no, don't kill him! He looked into Aemon's pale eyes and asked,
Did you enjoy it? Succumbing to your rage, leaping on me like an animal, hoping to kill me. Remmao didn't meet your expectations by taking his own life, but your hands wanted blood. They wanted to hurt someone. That's not why you're here. Did you come for her? Not only that.
Ooh, and because Aemon don't really understand what's going on, he thinks that he's kidnapping us. I mean, to a specific degree he is, but there's more to the story. Livius moved closer to Eva and asked quietly,
Eva, your friend things are not that simple, right?
Yes.
Aemon said he has a special heat.
That's right.
And he called himself Set.
He did.
And he appeared out of nowhere as if he came out of the storm itself.
She squeezed Livius' hand and answered in a voice almost too quiet to be heard.
Livius.
He is the storm. The healer swallowed hard, looking at the man. He could understand why Aemon looked like that. Before meeting him, Livius had heard about people with hair as white as myrtle flowers, but what was the reason for Set's fiery red hair? Why was the shape of his ears so different from what people were used to? When he spoke, his eyes glowed like two bright rubies, and he emanated a special heat, as the episodes had said. Set wasn't human, and his name was not a coincidence. He was named after the god of rage and chaos whom Livius had read about in the papyri. He was that god. If Seth was calm right at that moment, it was only because he was like a predator playing with his prey. He was in no hurry to eat it, enjoying the game instead. But was it a game?
Who are you? A master of all dark magicians. Do you reign over them?
Aemon relaxed a little, wiping the sweat from his face.
Who do you think I am? Do you help all dark magicians? Are you the head priest of the Elder's secret circle? Did Remmao's death anger you? I don't care about him. There are countless dark magicians dying at the Hunter's hands, especially at yours. You've heard of me. Who isn't Aemon of Memphis, the supreme apostates, the Pharaoh's hand of justice, the man mercilessly punishing all those who practice dark magic? Few people hate Cheshmu as much as you do. And you have every reason to.
He knows. Everyone has their reasons and plans. Speaking of reasons, despite everything, your reasons for being here and your objectives may be similar. Let's talk before jumping to conclusions. Things are not that simple. Seth almost laughed.
Evatus, are you suggesting we become friends?
Aemon sat up slowly, licking the blood from his lip. He looked up at Seth. He was in no hurry to draw his weapon again.
You're not a priest, not a Cheshmu, and not a human. That's right. I'm not here to fight, even though you really wanted me to.
The hunter lowered his head, realizing that was going to take a while. Eva knew that they needed to talk, because then they would realize that they shared the same goal. Hem said, as if reading her mind, Agnia spoke. You don't wish to fight us. Then let's settle this with a cup of Heket, not fists. You want to drink? At this point, we gotta.
Remmao is dead, and the trail that Aemon and I have been following has now gone cold, and your friend's body burned up. We're all exhausted, and I'd kill for at least a sip of water. If there is not bad blood between us, then let's not waste our energies, but replenish it instead,
said arched an eyebrow.
What? Do you have something decent to offer me?
Not indecent, not the local stuff.
I will not share my shelter with an enemy, and I won't be drinking among a shared wreckage either. We're not enemies, as long as we're going the same way. We're not going the same way. Did I say I was done? Do you know what else I know about you, Hunter?
Ha.
You're looking for an older Sheshmu from your past. As fate would have it, I'm also looking for him.
Aha.
Well, do you still think we're not going the same way?
Eamon stood up facing Sid.
Now we're getting somewhere! Aye. Your beautiful mercenary's right. Let's freshen up, talk, and perhaps you'll learn something interesting from me. I'll get my ointments. You've seriously wounded each other, so at least let me help you.
And I'll wipe my face, change my clothes, and bring the jacket. Kitty, you look like you could use some freshening up too. You're covered in dirt.
Livius was relieved when everyone came to an agreement. Witnessing violence made him very uncomfortable. Livius is such a cutie. Eamon didn't say anything. He was still furious about what Remmao had done to himself, but when the hunter disappeared under the canopy, it became clear that he also wanted to gather his thoughts and change his clothes. He never once looked at Eva. Curse all their agreements and feelings. He was tired of her. Not them actually being like, Eamon is tired of Eva. He tired of her ass. Nothing had gone as he had planned, and the best solution was going to be using the circumstances to his advantage rather than go against them. It was the main lesson he had learned during his years as a hunter. Before following Ignia, Eva turned to Seth. Everyone dispersed for a while.
You should go with her. I've got everything under control and I'll deal with the body.
Remmao killed himself out of fear of Hemsed. Is he really that terrible? Seth looked up at the sky and said,
Remmao did the right thing. Hemsed knows a lot and can do all sorts of things. You better ask Garra to never end up in his hands. Go now. You need to recover.
Now I'm actually petrified, y'all. Seth made it clear that the conversation was over, so Eva followed Ignia on shaky legs. Only when they were left alone, Eva was overcome by grief. Eastman's body was gone, and Remmao had killed himself right in front of her eyes. She couldn't help but spontaneously remember all her good memories of her mentor, how he had found her at the market and invited her to study, how he had helped her and guided her. Seth and Eamon had clashed, and she shuddered to think what was awaiting next. Eva sank to the ground, staring into the distance with empty eyes.
Was this your first time witnessing death?
No, it wasn't.
The first time you've seen someone taking their own life, then?
Yes.
This is to be expected from a Sheshmu. Death is inevitable. While torture can be avoided, but I didn't think he had the guts. I'll help you. You look really sad.
Sadly I am, girl. Sadly I am. Having changed her clothes, which smelled of smoke and sweat, Eva felt better. Agnia, who had changed into a nightgown, patted her on the back.
You should know that this is just the beginning. The death of your mentor and so on. There was a good chance that...
What's the matter?
Someone sneaking up to the canopy.
Agnia froze to listen closely. Maybe it's Eamon or Livius?
It's not their footsteps. Something's wrong.
Uh-oh. Eva tensed up. Her heart ached with anxiety. It was really hard for her to cope with all that had been happening. The fabric of the canopy lifted from the other side, not the one they used to enter. Someone was trying to sneak in unnoticed. Ramesses! I was about to ask. I forgot the voice I gave him. You know what? I lied a voice.
Eva,
Ram?
I've been waiting to meet you. My brother, I know why he killed himself.
Oh, God. So that means there was a different reason why he killed himself, not just because he wanted to protect his baby boo-boo brother. Y'all, I did say he's a little bitch. He needs to die. No matter. We survived. He did. And we keep on being brought to existence that Hemset is the biggest, baddest wolf of them all. So, in my eyes, that means that we will meet Hemset sooner or later. I have the feeling that he will be something like the story with Malbonte. Like, he is the biggest bitch of them all. Everyone knows about him. Everyone knows that you should stay away from him. He's the worst person you could ever meet. Pray to everyone that he never sees the light of day and everything, and then he will fall for us. So sorry. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.